Hello everyone and welcome to Paper Route Scrapping. I'm Nadine and today I'm going to be working on another layout for my March Madness series where I am going to be using a sketch from the 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. And I'm also going to be embellishing my layout using a list from the Calvin Ball Challenge over at scraphappy.org. So let's get started. I'm just going to bring up, oh, you don't need to hear me in stereo. I'm just going to bring up that, oops. Turn that off. Okay. So I'm just going to turn on my extra device so that I can see and make sure that we are actually live and not stalling, which seems to be a bit of a concern lately. Okay, so I haven't gotten very far in terms of putting my layout together just yet, but I am going to get started with you guys. So here is the base of my layout. This is the sketch we're working with today. It is by Vikki Taguinod, and it has this plain background. It's kind of an ombre. I'm not going to worry about the ombre. It's just a background to me. 2 photos, another one up here, a title here, and then some embellishing here and here. So that is what we're starting with on the sketch. So all I have done so far is I've gutted the paper because I wanted to also use it to map my photos. And then I grabbed this background sheet, which is from, did I keep the scrap? I think I threw it out, but it's from P13, I believe. So I'm going to ink the edges in my Black Soot Distress ink. How's everybody doing on this marvelous Monday? Everybody having a good day today? We're seeing some spring weather here, which is kind of exciting. The sun was shining. It's all behind the clouds now, but we did have some sunshine today, which is always super fun. Didn't actually check the temperature, so I don't know what it was like today, but it sure was nice to have that sunshine. And yeah, it's been an interesting week. My husband was away all week, so it'll be fun to have him come home tonight after a long trip. Looking forward to having someone else in the house. It's awfully quiet around here all by myself. I said to my parents yesterday, like, it makes me sometimes like miss having a dog, you know, to come home to or whatever, but not enough to get one because I still feel like I don't want that level of responsibility right now. But and also because we work a lot, so I feel bad if there was a poor dog left here. I always felt bad for our dog. I didn't feel like we were home enough to be good pet owners, but poor thing. But he didn't seem to mind. He was a pretty laid back little dude. But yeah, it certainly makes me miss that privilege of having a dog. Okay, well, that's interesting. This is, for some reason, a little bit shorter than the background sheet. Maybe I'll just take a hair off of this piece. There I go. Look, I barely started and I'm already tearing stuff up, guys. Oh my goodness. Hey, guess I could have checked that before I turned on the camera, but I guess not. I'm just going to grab my paper trimmer and just cut a little hair off of that. Maybe I will just because I don't want it sticking out the edge there. But let's see if we have. So I've gone ahead and done some stenciling. I used this arrow stencil up here this way in this corner, and then I used it also on this plaid pattern to get some stenciling on there. Does that line up better? Maybe I'll put this down first, and then we'll see where we're at. Measure it out, make sure it all fits together before I put it on the background piece. So my blue gutted paper there is 12 by 12 on the outside, and this one here is 11 by 11. So my wood grain paper is 11 by 11, And then I have this piece, which is 5 by 11. Uh-oh. I used up a product. Another tape runner. I have an extra. Hang on. I'll grab that one. This way you don't have to watch me reload, although, well, it should be good for a layout. Like, although I don't remember when the last time I reloaded this one is either. Okay, so I want the arrows to be in the right-hand corner, but I have a scalloped edge I wanted to add. I had some scraps on my desk from another project I was working on today for scraps to embellishments. And I had this, and I was like, I could just, punch that into a scallop and make it a little extra border at the bottom. It's not in the sketch, but that doesn't mean we can't add it. A sketch is always just a jumping off point. It's meant to inspire, which I like the way that this sketch is laid out because it leaves a lot of room for interpretation. So it's always nice. And then I will get some adhesive on this piece as well. We'll get that on there. Oh, I should ink that up because it looks like it has a white core. So normally I wouldn't necessarily put black ink on the black paper, but this one has a little bit of a white core so that the white core is not shining through. I just ink a little bit on the edge there, and I will line that up. And then this has adhesive on it, but it'll come off. I just like contact paper for like lining your cabinets with on top of my desk. My desktop was getting old and ugly to look at, so I added this on top of it. And it's kind of been nice because I don't feel bad about like when I get stuff on it or like stick things to it or whatever, because I just, first of all, adhesive peels off of it so much easier than it did off of the wooden desktop. But also I know I can peel this layer off and put another layer down if I want to, because I have a whole roll of it in the closet. We don't talk about the closet. I need to clean the closet. De-stash a little bit, I think. I have to move so many things just to get my like go bag out when I go to a crop or I go, I did it the wrong way. No. What? Uh-oh. I'm lifting things up again. I hope you guys are thirsty today. Apparently this is just going to be the way it goes. And if we're playing a stay hydrated game, you know what? Let's do this like this. And then we'll try this again. I'm a disaster today. Uh-oh. Must be Monday. I got a case of the Mondays on scrapbooking. Oh no. Okay. I think that's better. Now we have the arrows in the two spots I wanted them in. And everything seems to be lining up okay. So I think we're set that way. Okay, so this is kind of like the base of my page. And then I have I only had 2 photos. And in the sketch, she has 3 photos. But I'm going to put my 2 photos down here and then my journaling card up here. So here is my journaling card. And in here it's a 3x4, but I had only 4x4 cards in this collection pack, and I wanted to kind of stick with what was in the bag that I chose. So this is another one from my Roadside Attractions album, working my way through those pre-printed photos. And I couldn't find a lot of information on these ones either. This is in a small town in Alberta called Hinton. You've probably all heard of Jasper, Alberta, which is where all of our beautiful mountains are. And Hinton is not far from there. That's where they don't live there now, but one of my cousins lived there with his little family, and we had been visiting, and we went to get groceries, and in the parking lot was also a hardware store, and outside the hardware store was this big Adirondack chair, and that's me in there. and this bear, which was also massive. My son could stand under the bear's hand here. So, yeah. So even though it was, there was no like information on and I couldn't find anything about the artist for this online either. My son indulged me. We went and took pictures while we were there. And I thought it was funny because my cousin who lived there, we called him Bear pretty much all of our lives, because when he was a little boy, he had this blanket and it had a bear on it. And so it became a thing where that was his nickname, Bear. And then his wife, her nickname was also Bear growing up. So I thought that was funny that we go to visit them and stop for groceries and there's a bear in the parking lot. We're visiting Bear. Not this bear though. So anyway, it was fun. So we have these two. Oh, and I have another piece that I wanted to put on here, and I think I already cut it down to 11 inches. It was a strip of washi that I decided needed to be on a white scrap because it didn't stand out very well against the darker papers because it's so translucent, and it was on like it's white background translucent, so very see-through. Get that on there. And this is the piece I was just talking about, so that's going to go on there too. Let's get this up here. So in place of that third photo, I'm going to put this journaling card. And let's get this washi strip. So it's just like a branding strip that I cut off of a white cardstock. And I put my washi on there. When I keep scraps, I usually only keep anything that is bigger than a 3 or the same size as or bigger than a 3x4 journaling card. If it's smaller than that, it goes in the recycling. And then again, not fitting, weird. But with white scraps, because I use them for so many different things, I keep all the scraps. So like this was just a little bit of a branding strip and I kept it because I know that I use it for this kind of like washi trick, right? So there we have it. I'm going to ink this side too because I did not ink the edges of those. There we go. So that's kind of the base of the layout. I'm going to use dimensional adhesive probably on the bear. The bear story, though, will go in the album, like a different album, not the Roadside Attractions album, about how my cousin is named Bear and his wife is nicknamed Bear. And I'll use the photo with my son underneath the arms of the bear, too, for that story. And it will not be in my Roadside album. It will be in, like, my regular scrapbooks, family scrapbooks. There we go. So this is just fun foam that you get at Michael's or Walmart even. I think you can get it there. And it's adhesive on one side. Oh. And then I just add my own ATG on the other side because this stuff's super inexpensive. I order it in bulk. So I don't mind adding a little bit of that. And I find it less expensive, and I like just peeling off one backing as opposed to a whole bunch of little ones. And it's less expensive than using the Pop Dots or the scrapbooking specific adhesive. So we have that one. And I'll tuck that one a little bit. So where I found these papers in my stash was with a bunch of like Heidi Swap stuff, but it also had like I only had a couple sheets of the Heidi Swap paper. I had this one, which is where I got my journaling card from, right here. And I actually picked it for the bear paper, which I ended up not even using, which is funny. And then I have these papers that are, I think, from a paper pad. They're pretty, and that's where I got this one from. They're kind of flimsy-ish, but not like the thinnest kind of paper, just not that thicker cardstock. And then I have some swap embellishments in there, but I don't think I'm going to use these ones today. A couple chipboard pieces I don't think I'll use today either, although I think it was, no, was it August? It might have been when we were there. Oh, I did keep the branding strip from that wood grain paper. Maxi Creative Pad in Wood from P13. Yeah, that's where that's from. Okay. For anybody who was interested, I did end up recounting yesterday after I finished my layout from yesterday, which you can find on my Instagram or my Facebook page. Hi, Alana, welcome. And I got 90 points for the left-hand side of my double page layout and 97 for the right-hand page. Yeah, no, that was not correct. 67. I was like, no, that's way too high. 67 for the left-hand page and 57 for the right-hand page. Sorry. That was my count from the day before. I'm like, I did not get that many points. So it was a total of 124 for the whole layout. So it was fun. And I think I'm in like 7th or 8th place on the leaderboard over at Calvin Ball on the Scrap Happy membership group, scraphappy.org. If you don't have a local scrapbooking community, I think that would be a really fun one to join in. I know that they do quite a bit of fun things throughout the year. Okay. So you'll be happy to know that I won't spend all day looking for alphas because I already picked a title. I haven't even broken into this. I don't know why, but it was in here. It doesn't really match with the things that are here. I think I might keep this one out and put it with my other. Anyway, I don't like, all I'm saying is I don't know why it's in with these supplies because it doesn't really match, but anyway. Okay, so I want my title to be Roadside Adventures. So I'm not sure, do I want something underneath that where it's going to say Roadside Adventures? Do I want to maybe put like a tag? Or I did grab this chipboard banner and I ran it through an embossing folder with polka dots on it. So that can go somewhere as well. I thought that that was a pretty safe option for my chipboard pieces, although these are also chipboard, so I wasn't even sure if I would use them. I didn't want the one with the yellow though, so I'm not sure what part of this, and I didn't feel like a lot of this was good for what was happening here, but I could use some of the arrow pieces, the stars, the geo tags, and then we have these puffy stickers, but again, I'm not really sure any of the sentiments are actually what I'm looking for. So, and then I have these little puffies. I feel like I can use quite a bit of these. The paw prints, the trees, the hearts, the stars, the feathers, the bears. This is where I'm going to get my bear from, not from the bear paper, but that'll be fun, right? Okay. So anyways, the question I was asking myself was, do I want to get a tag or something maybe to start my title with? So let me grab my tag punch and we can start maybe with that. Where is it? Here we go. So I have this tag punch from Creative Memories. It's one of my favorite tools. Creative Memories makes the best tools, cutting tools. I find that like even the really old stuff, like the old circle cutters and stuff, if you still have those, you probably still use them and they probably still work great. Like they're very good quality. So there we go. So I'm thinking maybe I could put roadside on like the bottom of the tag and get that somehow on. I just want to incorporate it somehow. Okay, so let's see. Let's first get an eyelet and some twine in there because those are going to be on our Calvin ball points as well, right? Where's my crocodile? Oops, throwing stuff around again. And should I do a gold eyelet or silver? Let's do a little bit of silver since we already have gold happening on our washi. Oh, that's not where we want it. There it is. So put our tag in there, scrunch it down. Oops. Maybe not just yet. So finicky. There we go. Okay, so we got that. Get this on here. Where are my tweezers? So I was thinking something like putting it on there. There we go. These little ones sometimes don't settle the way I want them to. And then they look kind of like, especially like the O, the ones with the big bits in the center, sometimes they don't settle the way you want them to, and they kind of look like misshapen letters. So I just try to be a little bit extra careful with those bigger, the O and the D, that sort of thing. So I'm just kind of staggering them a little bit because I'm worried that if I try to do it too straight, then it will look crooked. Whereas if I do it intentionally crooked, it's okay if it's crooked. You know what I'm saying? That's my thing. And these are from the same pack as the letter. Hello, Deborah. Welcome. Oh, from Colorado. Oh, so pretty down there. Also part of the Rockies, right? Love that. So these are from, if you watched, I think it was yesterday. Was it yesterday that I used those navy foam stickers? It's from the same pack, just the other side of it. So we want some twine to go in there. What color of twine should I pick? Let's just do a brown and white. A little bit here. Looks like this one. I'm gonna have to clean out these jars after Calvin Ball. They're kind of messy with me just like reaching in there and throwing stuff back in. Not always twisted back up, not always taking the time to put things away properly. But that's the nature of these challenges or crops when you go, you know, you do the online thing. Just make a big old mess in the room. Just part of the fun, I think. Okay, roadside adventures. So this is what I'm thinking. I want it to be like here-ish, but I kind of want the tag piece to be part of there. Something like that. I just read a really disturbing book. Um, and I read them because they're disturbing. I like that. But I was like, um, didn't see the kind of plot twist coming at the end. And I was like, oh my gosh, I did not see that one coming. It was The Crash by Frida McFadden. Did you get anybody else read Frida McFadden? I love Frida McFadden. You live at the base of the Rocky Mountain National Park. Oh, Deborah, that's so lovely. Oh, Estes, how do you say that? Estes Park is pretty close to where you are. I bet you it's so beautiful. We're about 3 hours from the Rockies where I live. I live in Red Deer in Canada, and about 3 hours south of us is the Rockies, Southwest. My son lives in the Okanagan, and it's so beautiful there. There we go. Roadside Adventures. Look at that. Okay, so now I feel like I can glue this down where I know that I want it to be so that it can be part of my title. I did not think through how I was going to add adhesive after putting dimensional letters on there. Okay. Okay, sorry about that, you guys. I don't love it when that happens to me, but you know, I don't have a ton of control over what the internet is doing with me, but it'll be okay. I'll just keep reconnecting every time it kicks me out. So just stick around, I'll be here. It's pronounced Estes. Oh, okay, Estes Park. So Deborah lives by Estes Park, and you want to explore Canada one day? Yes, please come. Now's a good time. Our dollar is terrible. You feel like you're rich when you come here. It's always cold there. It's not. In the summertime, it gets up to like I'm trying to think in Fahrenheit here, between 80 and 100. So if you come in up in the mountains, of course, there are parts of the mountains. There's glaciers and um, yeah, glaciers and stuff that are still cold, of course. But where there's people, it's not that cold. Alana says that she's in Kitimat. It's small northwest coast of BC town. Yeah, northwest BC. It is. It's cold. Yeah, it's cold where Alana is right now. On the coast, I've been seeing lots of like slushy stuff. Ugh, ugh. We've been getting sunshine though. It's been like around 10 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but you can do the online conversion. So yeah, it's not super warm right now, but in the summertime it gets pretty warm. Okay, so let's see. Before I got frozen, I wanted to compare what was happening here to what's on our sketch. So we have our 2 photos down in the corner here, just like in the sketch. And then we have our title here, which is similar to the sketch. Our journaling, we moved from here up into this journaling square where this photo was. And so I think we got the base of our layout put together, and we can be next up moving on to our Calvin ball list and see what else we can get on here from our supplies. Okay, looks like we're live again. Sorry about that. I'm just going to keep coming back. They can kick me out all they want, but I'm just going to keep coming back. Okay, I am going to grab a label out of one of these containers. What you mostly missed was me accidentally saying a bad word. So I was kind of glad that the screen was frozen at the time. You're not allowed to do that on the YouTubes. Okay, so how about ooh, look at this camera. How matchy is that? We can use that. Use one of these darker ones. Darker label. It's cute. Maybe as like a bit of an embellishment cluster base. Like that. Okay, so we got that taken care of. We've got a label on here. No selfie. Date. Yep. Our date on here. Washi tape right here. Pre-mark. Okay, sorry about that, friends. You know what the most annoying part of this always is that when I come back in and I reconnect, it always says your connection is excellent. I'm like, oh, okay, well then why does it keep failing? So annoying. I don't understand technology. It's so lovely, technology is, when it's actually working, right? I don't know how to make sure I'm still on here. Yep. Okay. We're there. We're good. Here's my paper clip. I'm thinking a triangle might be fun. Enamel dots. Did not grab enamel dots. Let's see what we got. This is my box of enamel dots. In case you wonder where I go off to when I go looking for enamel dots. And my go-to are these Altenew ones because they come in color packs. And I like that idea. So here's this one, Cool Summer Nights. I have 2 of them, so I should probably get using them. Apparently I thought this was a good color combo for me. Can I tell you more about the close to my heart treasure box of goodies that I pull out? Yeah, I can tell you about them. I have 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 of them. That one holds mostly paper clips and hinges and photo turns. I have another one that's just brads. I have one that's just eyelets. Anyway, I was obsessed with them when they came out because I love all the little things. And I only bought one. And then since then, I have found more on like Marketplace or at garage sales and things. And when I see them, I pick them up because they do eventually sometimes get broken, like the closure pieces. And so, yeah. So I have them. I use them. They're so perfect for organizing all those little things. But of course, Close to My Heart is no longer a company. So can't really buy from them anymore. But you can find their products sometimes secondhand. Okay, I can see that there are a couple of you that are staying with me, and I just want to say that I really appreciate you. I know that this is super annoying. Trust me, nobody is more annoyed by it than I am. I just can't fix it right in this moment. So we're just going to keep coming back every time. Every time. I promise I'm going to keep coming back. Okay, so I don't know where it paused on me, but I got this doily on here. I was looking for a word strip sticker. I had to pull out my Tim Holtz book of small talk, I believe it's called, which I'm trying to use what's in here. And I put choose to see the good on here. So that's my word strip sticker. And then we're going to go with film strip. We got on here hexagons. Did I grab anything that was a hexagon shape? I have not. Okay, is there anything on here that's a hexagon shape? No. What about on this one? Nope. And we have no hexagons for us. Okay. That's okay. Maybe we'll skip hexagons this time, but we will see at the end. Okay, plaid. Yeah, we have a plaid back here. Circle. Our enamel dot is a circle. Tag. We have a tag. Stripes. No. Twine. Yes, we have twine in here. Watercolor. No. Rub-ons. No, I actually tried rub-ons for my alphas and they didn't work. I threw them out. Monochromatic. No. Grid. I don't know. I don't think so. Staples. I can use stapler to get my, how about I get a stapler and I put something here. Okay. So I'm just gonna cut a little bit of piece off of here. And then I'll cut a little piece off of this side too. Like to cut it at an angle. I find that it frays less if I cut at an angle. And then I'm going to put it kind of over top the seam here. And I'm just going to staple it down. At the top. Again, thank you to everyone who keeps coming back after it freezes. I know it's super annoying. It's super annoying for me. And I am getting my internet fixed, but I cannot make the guy come any sooner. So it is what it is. I am going to just quickly grab another one of my little close to my heart containers that Alana was asking about. And get a couple of brads. And I think I'm just going to go with like some gold maybe. So yeah, I have 2 containers of brads because I have a lot. When they kind of started going out of style, they were one of my favorite things to use. And so I went and like bought a ton of them, which sounds so crazy now. And it is crazy. I have so many. It's also something that I find you can get really often when you go secondhand shopping. So they're out there if you love them. And I keep bringing them home. So I have one brad case that is all. I'm happy I can keep coming back too, Deborah. Thank you. The one container that I have is all brads from, I think these ones might be too small. I might need a bigger set. These ones are all neutral colors, and the other one I have are colored. So I'm nerdy like that. I keep all the things. What else can I grab out of here? I don't have the bigger gold size, so I have to think again about what I'm doing. But maybe I could just use these gray ones. They're kind of cool. Or brown. Let's do a brown. Well, there's a lot of brown happening already because the ribbon is brown. I don't want to do brown. Gray. Let's do a gray. Okay. So grab a couple out of here. And they should work better in this chipboard banner that we have going on. And I just think that makes our, that ribbon gives our banner a place to hang. Okay, so it looks like they made me reconnect 3 times this time, so that was an adventure. Like that. Um, I see you guys are chatting. I love that. So Alana says that there's nowhere really for her to go shopping. Alana, there are a ton of online Canadian scrapbooking stores. I can hook you up. Just send me a private message. I will hook you up. Yeah, false spring. Us too. Fake spring. 72 today. We'll get snow probably in the next 2 months. Yeah, we usually get snow still for a bit. I think that's just part of living close to the mountains. We keep getting snow probably until May long weekend, usually. And typically it does snow on May long weekend here, just almost as like a joke to the campers. I don't know. I think it's Mother Nature's way of telling us, haha, just kidding. Yeah, so Alana's asking how long Deborah's been scrapbooking for. Alana's been scrapbooking for a year. Good for you, girl. That's so exciting. Yeah, I've been scrapbooking for like 20 years. That's why when you see me pull out my things, you're like, oh, she has a lot of stuff. But it's been longer than 20 years because my oldest is turning 27 here pretty soon. And I started when he was 2. So 25 years now, right? Okay. So we have gotten our 2 brads in and our little banner piece to part of our thing there. So we have, so I don't remember where I left off. Rub-ons, grids, staples. We stapled cut files, no. Ombre, no. Splatter, no. But I could splatter. Maybe I will later. The sun, no. Coffee or tea, no. Cork. I have cork things. Where's my cork things? I have these, oops, now I'm throwing stuff on the floor. I have these cork things, and I have these cork things. I could put nerd on here because that's what my kid says to me every time. Every time I made him stop at one of these things, he's like, Mom, you're such a nerd. I'm like, I know. But I think I'm going to use fantastic because I feel like it's fantastic. Ooh, maybe I could put it on here. That's kind of cool. So there's my cork piece. I do have a sloth. I wonder if I have another sloth that's drinking coffee. Because I had one of those, I think yesterday. No, a couple days ago. It was very cute. My friend Paula made me these little sloths to get me points on my Calvin ball, which is so sweet of her. Let's see. She also made me flamingos, but the flamingo point has been revoked. Alice is mean. Sleeping sloth. What else we got? No more coffee drinking sloths. These guys are so cute. Okay. So we have this little guy. I think he's super cute and he can go right up here. Okay. But no coffee drinking sloth. So that's not going to get me my coffee point. And here he's going to go back in here. I also haven't looked through my avocados yet. Should we look through the avocados? See if there's an avocado point we can get? So I have this guy. I don't know. That doesn't really suit. Exercise. Surprise guy. I don't know why he's kicking his hamburger. This guy, Avogo. Some traveling maybe. Your house flooded, Deborah? No. I'm so sorry. That's terrible news. Yeah. Not fun things, but that happens commonly here in the spring as well. Okay. Again. Just maybe like a little cool avocado. I don't know. I'm pretty cool sitting in that chair, or so I think. Avocado toast. Avocado riding a pony. Playing the guitar. Muscle Man, Superman, going to the movies, skateboarding, drinking margaritas, going to the farmer's market. I don't know. I don't know. I could just put one of the normal ones on here, I guess. Just this guy. Okay. We haven't even got to that yet, and there I am digging through things, but I saw it there and I was like, ooh, I want to do this. So when I knocked something on the floor, like I said, it was my bling. So we can get some bling on here. Where should we put the bling? I think I want this darker one. Let's see. Maybe I will put some bling here. Some bling over up this away. Maybe we can put one on our little cork piece. That's kind of cute. So we got some bling happening. Embossing. Yeah, I embossed on my chipboard piece. I embossed a polka dot. It's very cute. What else we got? I don't need a pencil. Embossing, torn paper. I've not torn anything. Green. I have a green avocado. A gear. I could get gears on here. Why not, right? Let's put one on. If we can put on a sloth, we can put on a gear. Oh, look at these teeny tiny little ones. Let's see if I'll need the tweezers to get them out, but I could use one of these that matches my title. What do you think? Because that's the same color, right? So I can put it down here somewhere. So that's fun. Torn paper. I could probably do a little bit of torn. I think I have a scrap actually left over from yesterday. Where did it go? It's torn. It's this torn blue vellum. I could just put it beside my photo. Tuck it in. There we go. Got some torn paper. Green avocado. We got a gear on there now. Rainbows. I'm probably not going to put a rainbow on this one. Gold. Yeah, we got gold covered. Finish a product. Well, I finished my adhesive, didn't I? Die cuts. Well, my doily is die cut. The doily that I picked is from a die cut. Buttons. Not yet, but I can grab one or two or so. What do we got for buttons? This one's kind of flowery. Could I use a flower button? Flower button. There we go. Let's see what else we got. Puffy stickers. Yes, our heart is a puffy sticker. Multi-font title. Yeah. Feathers. We have feathers here. So let's pick a feather. What feather do we want? Something like that. Got feather. What else we got? Silver. Yep, our eyelet and our clip are both silver. Scallops. I punched scallops down here using my EK Success border punch. Clocks. What we got for clocks? I have a whole container full of clocks. Which one should we use? Should we use one of these? It's kind of squeezing in a different color though. But I feel like I could tuck it in behind this and it would look cool. Make sure it's the right side up. There. Okay. Clocks. The word love. No. Acetate. Our film strips are made of acetate. Use a punch. Yes, I used a border punch here. Songbird. No. No. You know what, though? Hang on. I think I have little birds in my... So I have these teeny tiny, when I sorted out my wood veneer at some point, and I had watched Janet Madison over at RTS Scrapbooking sort hers out. She had pulled all the teeny tiny pieces and separated them into something like this. And I'm like, ooh, I like this idea. And she put them all together because they fall to the bottom, right? And so I have little birds in this one. So I could use those. And I know that butterfly is also in here somewhere. So we can grab a butterfly. What else is in here? Ooh, there's gears in here. There's flowers in here. Well, let's put this to the side for now and we'll see what else comes up. Okay, so we got a songbird, wood grain. Yeah, we got a wood grain background. Doodling. No, but I think at the end, I am going to take my white pen and I'll just get it started here with you guys. And then I'll do the rest off camera. But I was going to just get the white pen out and do a doodle line around the outside. Yesterday I did a stitched line, but I don't need a stitched line today because I have stitching in my ribbon. So I think this time I'm just going to do, I don't think this is my good weight pen. I have a better one. So just like something like this. And then around the outside edges. And then in a few places, I'll just add these like little doodle lines on there as well. So I'll do that all the way around the outside off camera later. And I just put my two white pens side by side. And again, don't know which one is which. I keep doing this to myself. Okay. Doodle. Yep. 3 or more photos. No. Black and white photo. No. A geotag. Yes. And I think that's it for the permanent points. So let's look. Avocado. Yep. Music notes. No, but I feel like if I put a sloth on my layout and an avocado on my layout, there's no reason I can't put a good old music note on my layout. So let me see what I have for scraps over here. I could just use the back side of this. Just get some. I don't have to use all of them. I can just use 1 or 2, whatever I like that works. So something like that. Something like, oh, we could put one by the bird singing up a storm. Maybe our sloth is singing a song. I don't know. Okay, so we got some music notes on there. We have white pen. We're going to doodle in white pen. We have a sloth. We have no pickles. We have no memorabilia. We have a flower. We have a flower button. So yes, I was just saying that I also love my avocado stickers. I think they're so fun. And my friend Ruth got them for me after my last Calvin ball. And she and so it's been so yes. I also love my avocados. And I got some sequins on there while we were waiting for the internet to reconnect me. I'm really sorry, you guys. Okay. Working on it. Working on it. Thank you for being patient with me. I am super sorry. It's super annoying. I am working on it, I promise. Okay, so we got some sequins on here. I got these little silver sequins from Studio Katya. What else we got? Hedgehogs. Nope. I could put a little hedgehog on here. I know where to find them. Stamps. I stamped my date. Journaling card. Yep. Bow. No. Lace. No. Shaker pocket. No. Chickens. No. Flags. I consider this a kind of a flag. Fruit. Avocado is a fruit. Chipboard. Yes, we have chipboard here and chipboard here. Flare. I have some flare here. I don't know if any of these actually will go on here or not. You know what I do have though? I have these other ones in this box here I could use. This one just says today. It could go on here. And this one says happy. Okay. Happy or today. You can get one of those on here. Something like that. So we got some flare. Put away 5 layouts. No, I do that at the end. We have our vellum here. We have our eyelet up here. A Viewmaster. I didn't grab one of those, but I do have my little Viewmasters in their boxes over here. Let's see if I can find one that kind of coordinates. These ones are pretty, they're not the right kind of blue. It's possible. You know what I could do though, is I have some neutral colored ones. Where are those? Use one of these, right? One of those two. There we go. So we got Viewmasters, tickets. Can grab a ticket. I have a little ticket bucket right here. So nice and close to me. It's not quite the right color. These ones are stamps. Here we go. Look at this. So these ones are from 49 and Market. My friend Jojo sent them to me. I think they're just so precious. They come in big boxes, which I always hesitate to buy. So she was like, I have a bunch. I'll send you some. Isn't that so nice? I meet such nice people over on Ginger's Corner. Okay, so we got a ticket in there. Shamrock or 4-leaf clover. No. Photo corners. No, I don't think there were any in this pack either. So I'm just going to skip that. Super old stash, I would say definitely. Chevrons, no, but I do have this chevron punch right here. And so I punched a few out of that, the scrap that I cut off the outside edge of this. And I figured I could just add them on here somewhere. So chevrons. Deer. We have a little deer on our doily down here. A playing card? No. Animal print? Well, I have in my puffies, I have these little animal footprints. Is that in here? Where did I see those? Up here. So I feel like that's an animal print, right? What else we got? Bubbles? No. We do not have yellow today. The word spring, also no. Tab, Yep, we stamped the date on a tab. Dimensional adhesive we used under here. A curved title. No. Something folded. No. A list. No. A tree. This little guy's on a tree. And I also have these trees that I could add. So where do I have my puffies so far? Down here. I could put one puffy up this way. Be fun. What else we got? And trees, cats, no, and unicorns, no. But we do have colors teal and aqua, which are the colors that were added today. Alana says she's thinking of doing separate albums for holidays like Easter and Christmas for both of her families. I do that. I make mini albums for that. So that's always fun. Your son has a baby girl and a 2 and 2.5-year-old boy. Oh, the other boy, a 5-year-old boy. Oh my gosh, so many wonderful kids to make scrapbooks for. Yeah, that's a great idea, Alana. I love that. Okay, so I think that we are finished for today. I will and I will post it on my Facebook page as well as in the Life Facebook group. It'll be on Instagram and in the gallery over at scraphappy.org. So I really appreciate you all being here and sticking through all of the technical difficulties I was having today. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you for those of you who are commenting today. It makes me feel like I have friends to talk to while I'm scrapbooking, which makes me super happy. And I hope you'll be back again. Tomorrow, I have a live stream for store on Facebook at 6 p.m. or 7:30 Mountain Time, which is like 6:30 Pacific Time, and somewhere between 9:15 and 9:30 Eastern Time. So I don't even know if my Eastern people will still be around, but maybe you can watch while you're laying in bed. You can fall asleep to the sound of my voice. I don't know. I know it's late, but that's what I got to do. I got to work tomorrow. So, okay. So thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I like this page. It turned out really cute. And I hope you all have a great rest of your evening, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye for now.